Today on Forbes, meet the crypto billionaire who helped the Trumps make $400 million. Chinese blockchain entrepreneur Justin Sun's admiration of Donald Trump began in middle school, while he was living in Huizhou, a city of 6 million in China's Guangdong province, just north of Hong Kong. Sun's teacher encouraged his class to watch American television to learn vernacular English, so Sun tapped peer-to-peer file sharer BitTorrent, a service that years later he would own, and began downloading reruns of The Apprentice. The precocious Sun says he was captivated by the American tycoon's lessons in cutthroat competition, showmanship, and of course, ego, anathema in a society steeped in the principles of Confucianism and Chinese socialism. But it was the early 2000s, and the reforms set in place by Deng Xiaoping had opened China to capitalism, especially in booming Shenzhen, which borders Huizhou. Sun says, quote, "It was natural for The Apprentice to become popular in China. So it felt like fate, perhaps now a four-letter word for opportunism, that Sun heard late last year that the Trump family's crypto venture, World Liberty Financial, or WLF, was faltering, despite the fact that the patriarch, listed as the company's chief crypto advocate, had just been elected president of the United States. World Liberty was going to be another decentralized finance platform, of which there are hundreds already, but it offered no equity, lacked credible management, and its tokens would be illiquid. The fact that the Trumps could have easily self-financed the $30 million needed to launch, but chose against it, underscored why no one else wanted to either. Donald Trump more than 3 decades ago had pivoted his empire toward using other people's money rather than risking his own. But the 34-year-old Sun couldn't miss the potential dividends sitting in front of him. Since March 2023, Sun has been facing a U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission lawsuit alleging fraudulent market manipulation and selling unregistered securities. Now he had come across a way to single-handedly enrich the person about to lead the executive branch of the U.S. government, the SEC included. In late November, just 3 weeks after Trump's election, Sun plunked down the $30 million ostensibly needed to cover operating expenses. That $30 million ignited a buying frenzy that primarily benefits the Trump family. As if Sun's actions weren't helpful enough, a few weeks later, he invested another $45 million into World Liberty Financial, 75% of which went directly into Trump's pocket, per a disclosed stipulation that the Trump family takes 3/4 of everything raised above the initial $30 million. Then, when the president launched his meme coin, $Trump, in January, Sun invested a few million more. All told, Sun's actions yielded a small return for him on paper. Even worse, his entire position in WLF was locked up indefinitely, while generating an estimated $400 million windfall for the Trumps. Taking note, Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy on the floor of the Senate in early March said that, quote, "This is essentially Trump posting his Venmo for anyone to secretly wire him as much money as they want." Sun's tributes seemingly paid off. Almost immediately, he was named an advisor to World Liberty. Then in early 2025, after Trump took office, the SEC dropped virtually all of its lawsuits and investigations against alleged crypto violators, including exchanges Coinbase, Kraken, and Robinhood. It would also, quote, "pause" its lawsuit against Sun and his firms. Such is life for crypto's most transactional billionaire. He's a pure opportunist. He has limited computer programming skills, and nearly all the entities he has created or controls have famously copied the business models of other first movers. Moving fast and copying things has made Sun extraordinarily rich, extremely fast. Like his childhood idol Trump, he apparently covets what Forbes says about his net worth, and tells us his number exceeds $40 billion, including large holdings of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ether, as well as fine art, including a Picasso and a Warhol, plus an Airbus 330 jet. He has a dizzying maze of wallets and keeps some of his assets in other people's names. Forbes estimates Sun's net worth at $8.5 billion, with an acknowledgement that it could be much larger. But with the SEC giving him a reprieve, that number is poised to surge. For full coverage, check out Nina Bambasheva and Stephen Ehrlich's piece on Forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.